Hello, all. Welcome to Rsum Life. Hope you're all doing good and being safe. Today is a cold, cozy day for us here, and I thought, a nice cup of coffee with some sunshine and some nice conversations would be perfect. And the topic of today's video would be what is stopping you from doing gardening. Let me take a sip, and I will let you guys think for a minute. Alrighty, so is it the cost of the gardening which is stopping you? If so, I have a lot of videos on affordable gardening. Do check it out, and I'll actually make a playlist so that, it's handy and good to go through. Or is it the time which is not available, which many of us go through? I drive myself crazy to do the gardening, which I have to admit, most of the times, time is not available. And I love to do gardening. I am extremely passionate about it. And I try to, avoid many of the other outdoor activities, in the sense some fun stuff as a group activities, and I would actually prefer gardening, which in some cases not actually a good idea, but since the time is not available, I actually prefer doing gardening. But this year I wanted to come up with ideas where we can actually do a time effective gardening. So last year I did a lot of videos on affordable gardening, and I was just thinking throughout this winter that, what are the other things which will generally block people from doing gardening? And I felt time is one more biggest thing which most of us are not able to allocate for gardening. And let me take a sip of coffee meanwhile you think it through. Nothing like a good sip of coffee, right? By the way, this is decaf. I'm not able to take much of caffeine these days. Call it whatever it is. So, but I love the flavor of coffee, so I'm just going with the decaf. So these are two of the things which we spoke, right? Affordable gardening. Trust me, we can actually do gardening with almost no cost, or low cost gardening, right? We can do that, and there are many ways. I have a lot of content. I already posted a lot of content in the channel, but there is a lot more to be added, and I'm sure that is going to help many of us to step into the gardening world. The second thing is time. Time is time effective way of gardening. Is important, and that's something what I'm also learning, and I would be making a lot more videos on that topic. And the third one is energy, right? Not all of us have this kind of outbursting energy to do gardening. I I don't know. For me, somehow, I get this energy to go to do gardening. This kind of outburst energy, which just comes in if I have to do gardening. At the same time, if I have to do something else, I am a lazy couch potato. I think that's just with the passion which drives us. But energy wise, I do understand, not all our viewers are of certain age. We have elderly people also watching this channel, and I do understand how that will be impacting the gardening, especially bending down and working through the garden or any of that sort. So for that, getting external help would be actually a good idea. Getting any of the college kids, or any of the external help to set up the garden, and to to make it more friendly for elderly people or like any of us also, right? So that will be a good idea. We have built a raised bed, so that was my that was my vision, and of course my husband has to implement it. Poor guy. The reason why I wanted to build a raised bed was it's a long-term goal. It's a long-term goal. Couple of things with the raised bed. How we have built it was to have like a conversation point. I want to sit there and like have get-togethers and enjoy. That was one of the things, and the second thing is like I'm not gonna stay in forever, and when the time comes I wanted to do a comfortable way of gardening. So that was one of the reason for getting the raised beds done. And the third thing is like we have a lot of critters, so beautiful groundhogs and bunnies and all these guys, squirrels. They just love to enjoy the garden, which I adore it. But the problem is they don't eat the complete tomato. They just like take a bite and run away. um it's just like those guys are naughty guys. So we have to come up with an idea to have the produce where we can share between our good garden trends and between the humans. And the next thing what I can think about is space. Not all of us have space to grow gardens. We have lived in apartment complex where I didn't have any space to grow any of the vegetables. I do understand that, and there are certain ways of growing gardens. I follow like many of the content creators, the gardening content creators, where they grow these amazing fruit plants in containers. I just like thrills me to see their videos, and the way how they take care of those plants is amazing. So don't stop yourself. If space is a constraint, try container gardening, continuous gardening. So that is actually pretty neat too. Like we get like good soil and start in the containers, and you get like good crop. It's just like a motivation for us to do something which we actually love doing it, and not thinking about the perfect situation to happen. So other things I can think of is weather, right? I came from a tropical background, in the sense like I grew up in tropical weather, and now I am actually sitting in -8 Fahrenheit temperatures. It's just it's just cold. For me, like weather is a constraint for growing vegetables, and most of the vegetables what I grow is like tropical related ones. So for that, like one of the one of the things what I do is growing them, starting them indoors, like starting the seeds indoors, so that like I can actually catch up on the growing season. So that is one more constraint I think like many of us, few of us might go through, like with the weather constraints. So for that, like do a kickstart of the plants indoors, and then like you can take them outdoors and let them thrive throughout the summer, spring, summer, and fall. All right, my coffee is done. And what other things do you think of which is stopping you from doing gardening? Let me know in the comments, and I would love to find out a solution for you guys, or at least like think what can be done so that we can get more people into the gardening and grow these beautiful, amazing plants. Trust me, when you grow crops, the taste of it is amazing, like unbelievable taste. What you get in grocery stores is nothing. So yesterday I went to one of the big store, Costco, and to get some fruits, right? Like nothing is available now, so almost my freezer stack is also getting empty. So I thought like let me get some raspberries, right? We got the raspberries and I ate those, and I couldn't like actually taste the true flavor of the raspberry. We grow it in the garden, and that has like so much of flavor in it. It's just not just sweet, right? Like a fruit, it's not like plain sweet stuff. It should have the flavors in it. And the ones which we grow in our garden tastes absolutely beautiful. I am waiting for spring to get some beautiful raspberries this year also, and a lot of other fruits. We literally have a fruit orchard. And remember one thing, when I actually tell all this stuff, it just didn't happen, right? It We kept on adding stuff, and we kept on building stuff. It is lots and lots of hard work for sure. And I initial days of me being like into the gardening world, I spent a lot of money. Then I realized like this is not the way how we have to grow the plants, and there should be a better way, which is what is Awesome Life about. It has a lot of content where you can actually do affordable gardening and get these beautiful crops. So get into the now this world of plant craziness. You will not regret, and you all have an awesome life. Happy and healthy gardening. Let's do some amazing gardening this year. 2023 should be our year. You all have an awesome life. Bye now. Take care.